Breaking news: California's tech future is at a crossroads, and it's a battle between innovation and regulation. Governor Gavin Newsom just shocked the world by vetoing a landmark AI safety bill that would have set the gold standard for AI governance. What does this mean for the future of artificial intelligence in the U.S.? Will California stay the Wild West of tech, or are we heading for a major showdown between lawmakers and Silicon Valley giants? Imagine a future where AI is shaping every aspect of your life, from the way you work, to how you vote, to the content you see online. But who's in control? Tech companies racing to push the boundaries of AI innovation? Or lawmakers scrambling to keep up with the rapid pace of technological change? California, home to Silicon Valley, stands at the forefront of this global debate. And right now, with this veto, the state is sending a clear signal: innovation comes first. But at what cost? Privacy advocates are raising red flags, warning that unchecked AI development could lead to serious consequences, everything from biased algorithms to deepfakes flooding the internet with disinformation. And that's just scratching the surface.
Let's not forget California has often set the precedent for the rest of the nation when it comes to tech policies. Just think about data privacy laws like the CCPA, California Consumer Privacy Act, which force companies across the country to reevaluate how they handle personal information. But AI? This is a whole new beast. The stakes are higher, and the technology is moving at breakneck speed. One minute, we're marveling at AI's potential to revolutionize industries, from healthcare to finance, and the next, we're scrambling to figure out how to prevent it from causing harm. That's why Newsom's veto is such a pivotal moment. On one hand, he's standing by Silicon Valley, protecting the state's crown jewel of innovation. On the other hand, this decision could leave the door wide open for ethical and societal issues to spiral out of control.
In today's episode, we're diving deep into this controversy. What does this veto mean for the future of AI regulation in the U.S., and how will it impact industries, developers, and everyday people? We'll also be covering California's new laws targeting AI-generated deepfakes, the potential for AI replicas of deceased performers, and why the battle over AI regulation is only just beginning. Whether you're an AI enthusiast, a business leader trying to navigate the regulatory landscape, or simply someone concerned about how much AI already shapes your life, this episode has something for you.
As we discuss these issues, it's important to remember that AI isn't just a tool. It's a force that's reshaping the world we live in. And as with any powerful force, there needs to be a balance between innovation and regulation. Are we moving too fast? Are we risking privacy, security, and fairness in the name of progress? California is at the epicenter of this debate, and what happens here could set the tone for AI governance around the globe. So stay tuned as we unpack the biggest AI stories of the day and explore what the future holds for AI governance in the U.S.
We're also coming to you from a place that embodies the clash between history and innovation: Sacramento, California, the capital of a state that has long been the heart of the tech revolution. From the grand dome of the California state capitol to the buzzing streets filled with lawmakers, lobbyists, and tech insiders, Sacramento is where the future of AI regulation is being debated in real time. As you walk through the halls of power here, you can feel the tension between innovation and regulation, tradition and progress. It's the perfect backdrop for today's discussion, and we're excited to take you on this journey. Let's dive into this week's top AI news, where the spotlight is firmly on California and its role as the frontier of AI regulation. First up, the veto that has the tech world buzzing. It's been just a few days since Governor Gavin Newsom vetoed a groundbreaking AI safety bill, and the aftershocks are still being felt. This bill was designed to make AI developers more accountable by requiring transparency in how their AI systems work, particularly when they make decisions that could affect people's lives. The bill also aimed to enforce responsible AI practices, with penalties for companies that failed to comply. Why did Newsom veto it? Well, according to him, the bill was simply too premature. California, he argues, needs to understand the impact of AI better before locking in strict regulations. Silicon Valley insiders, including big names from Google, Nvidia, and OpenAI, saw this as a victory, claiming the bill would have stifled innovation by imposing heavy-handed rules too early. But privacy advocates? They're calling this a disaster.
That's right. AI experts have warned that delaying regulations could open the floodgates for AI systems to be deployed without accountability. In sectors like healthcare and criminal justice, this could lead to significant consequences, especially when it comes to bias in decision-making systems. Without oversight, AI could perpetuate discrimination and deepen inequalities.
It's a classic battle between innovation and regulation. While tech leaders see this veto as necessary to keep California as the global hub for AI development, privacy and ethics advocates worry that this hands-off approach could set a dangerous precedent. And let's not forget, California has often led the way in shaping national tech policy, so this veto might impact more than just the state. Next up, a big win for the entertainment industry. California has passed a law that prevents the creation of AI-generated replicas of deceased performers without consent from their estates. This comes on the heels of a controversial AI-generated hologram of the late Anthony Bourdain, where AI reconstructed his voice to narrate parts of a documentary after his death, without his estate's approval.
This new law requires that any AI-generated likeness of a performer, living or dead, can only be used with explicit permission from their estate. The law is groundbreaking because it directly addresses an ethical issue that AI is creating: the potential to exploit someone's image or voice without consent. Hollywood stars like Robin Williams and Carrie Fisher had already added clauses in their estates to prevent unauthorized digital recreations after death. But this law sets a new standard for protecting legacy performers.
It also raises a question for the future: how much will AI shape the entertainment industry? We're talking about a world where your favorite actors could perform in new movies long after they've passed away. Some see this as an innovative way to preserve talent for generations, while others argue it's a violation of personal dignity and intellectual property. In other news, California has just enacted one of the toughest laws on AI-generated deepfakes. The new law aims to tackle AI-driven disinformation campaigns, particularly as we head into another critical election year. We all remember the viral deepfake of Speaker Nancy Pelosi that made her appear intoxicated. Well, this new legislation is designed to prevent just that kind of manipulation.
The law criminalizes the creation or distribution of AI-generated content that aims to mislead voters or spread false information. But it doesn't just stop there. California lawmakers are also targeting deepfake technology used to create non-consensual explicit content, which has been a rising issue. Recent studies show that over 90% of deepfakes online are sexually explicit, often targeting women without their consent.
And here's where the conversation gets really interesting. AI deepfakes are becoming harder to detect as the technology improves, and this law is an attempt to get ahead of that problem. But critics of the law say it doesn't go far enough, arguing that enforcement will be difficult and that we need national or even global standards to tackle the problem effectively.
It's clear that AI deepfakes are a double-edged sword. On one hand, they have huge potential for creative industries like film and entertainment, but on the other, they are a tool for spreading misinformation and violating privacy. This law is California's first step, but as deepfake technology evolves, expect more legislation to follow.
Now, let's zoom out a bit. Beyond California, there's growing momentum on the global stage for AI regulation. Just this week, United Nations experts released a statement urging countries to develop cohesive AI regulations to prevent a Wild West scenario where powerful AI systems are created and deployed without oversight.
The UN report highlights the dangers of allowing powerful AI to develop unchecked, particularly in areas like autonomous weapons, surveillance, and facial recognition technology. They're calling for global cooperation to set ethical guidelines and prevent the misuse of AI, warning that individual countries acting alone can't keep up with the fast pace of AI innovation.
What's interesting is that even the tech leaders in California are paying attention to this global movement. Companies like Google and OpenAI are already talking about the need for international frameworks to ensure AI development is safe and beneficial for humanity. But there's a lot of tension between wanting to innovate and wanting to regulate. As AI continues to advance, this push for global regulation is only going to intensify. Now let's talk about the bigger picture, because when we discuss AI regulation, we're not just talking about business or technology. We're talking about ethics, privacy, and the very fabric of society. The decisions made today will affect how we live tomorrow. Will AI help us build a better future, or are we opening Pandora's box? AI tools are becoming more sophisticated every day, from deepfakes that can mimic anyone's face or voice to surveillance systems that track our every move. In California, deepfake laws are trying to address the misuse of this technology, but it raises a critical question: how much control should AI have over our personal data and identities?
These AI systems don't just raise privacy concerns, they are redefining privacy altogether. Imagine living in a world where anyone can create a video of you saying things you never said, or where AI can predict your behavior based on your digital footprint. It's not just about controlling data, it's about controlling entire digital identities.
And the technology is already here. Deepfakes have been used to spread misinformation in political campaigns, and AI surveillance systems using facial recognition to track citizens are growing more common. Even with California's new laws cracking down on deepfakes, it's going to be difficult to stop these tools from spreading without stronger regulations. As AI surveillance becomes more widespread, the balance between security and privacy will need to be reevaluated.
Another massive ethical concern is job displacement. AI is revolutionizing industries, making processes more efficient, but at what cost? Automation is already replacing jobs in sectors like manufacturing, retail, and even healthcare. AI isn't just taking over repetitive tasks. It's starting to replace human decision-making in areas like hiring, financial services, and legal work.
The fear is clear: as AI systems become more capable, they could widen the gap between those who benefit from these advancements and those left behind. A report from the World Economic Forum estimated that AI could displace 85 million jobs globally by 2025, while creating 97 million new ones. But here's the issue: those new jobs will require advanced skills, and many workers aren't ready for that shift.
This raises a key ethical question. Do we have a responsibility to ensure that workers displaced by AI are retrained and able to adapt to new roles? Some tech companies are already investing in AI education programs, but there's a growing need for policies that help workers transition into these new opportunities. Without proper support, the economic divide could become even more severe, creating a society where AI is a tool of inequality, rather than a force for good.
Let's talk about bias. AI systems are only as fair as the data they're trained on, and that's a serious problem. We've seen AI tools used in everything from hiring decisions to criminal justice systems, and time and again, studies have shown that these systems can be biased against women and people of color.
That's a huge issue. Imagine being denied a job or a loan because an AI system learned from biased data. This isn't just hypothetical. It's already happening. AI algorithms are increasingly making decisions that impact real lives, and the lack of transparency in how these decisions are made makes it almost impossible to challenge them. For example, facial recognition systems are notorious for misidentifying people of color, leading to wrongful arrests.
And this brings up one of the most critical ethical questions of all: who is accountable when AI gets it wrong? If an AI system discriminates against someone, who takes responsibility? The company that built the system? The developer? Or the AI itself? These are questions that regulators are still grappling with, and without proper regulation, AI could perpetuate inequality on a massive scale.
So as AI continues to evolve, we have to be vigilant about the ethical implications. We need to ensure that AI doesn't erode privacy, deepen inequality, or reinforce bias. It's not just about how we regulate AI today, it's about how we shape the future for generations to come.
Now let's turn to the experts, because when it comes to AI governance, the question is, what do the people shaping the future of AI think about where we're headed?
Legal experts and advocates for responsible AI, like those involved in the push for California's AI safety bill, expressed disappointment over Governor Newsom's veto. Some, including privacy advocates and members of the tech ethics community, have warned that this decision could delay much-needed accountability in AI development.
At the same time, many tech industry leaders celebrated the veto. Their argument? Regulation at this stage would slow down innovation and make it difficult for companies to compete in the global AI race. Les Pounder, a well-known tech analyst, noted that it puts AI into the hands of everyday developers, opening the door for grassroots innovation, but also potential risks.
And it's not just in California. The United Nations has been vocal about the need for global AI regulation. In a recent statement, the UN's AI ethics panel warned that we could be headed toward a Wild West scenario, where powerful AI systems are created without oversight. Experts are pushing for international cooperation to develop cohesive, ethical frameworks for AI.
Tech leaders like Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, have pointed out that regulation must be measured and thoughtful. While Pichai acknowledges the need for oversight, he's argued that overly strict laws could stifle the innovation that's driving progress in areas like healthcare, education, and climate change. It's a delicate balance, and experts across the board are calling for a global conversation on how to manage AI's risks while promoting its benefits.
Financial analysts, too, are weighing in. Some predict that the AI market could grow to over $15 trillion by 2030, but they also warn that companies must be prepared for future regulations. Those that invest in transparency and ethical AI practices now could have a competitive edge as trust becomes a deciding factor in AI adoption.
So where does that leave us? Experts agree on one thing: AI isn't slowing down, and the debate around its governance is only getting more intense. While some predict that delaying regulation could push AI forward faster, others warn that without immediate action, we risk falling into a cycle where AI creates more problems than it solves. As we wrap up today's episode, one thing is clear: AI governance is at a crossroads. California is leading the way, but its recent decisions, like Governor Newsom's veto of the AI safety bill, show just how complex the path ahead is.
On one hand, we have the tech industry pushing for less regulation to keep innovation thriving. Silicon Valley companies argue that laws like the AI safety bill would stifle their ability to remain competitive globally. And from a business perspective, that makes sense. Without the burden of heavy-handed regulations, AI development can move faster, potentially unlocking solutions to some of the world's biggest challenges.
But there's a flip side. The lack of regulation raises serious ethical and societal concerns. From deepfakes that threaten privacy and democracy to biased AI systems that could deepen inequalities, the risks are becoming harder to ignore. California has passed some important laws, like cracking down on AI replicas and deepfakes, but many argue it's not enough. The question we're left with is, how do we balance innovation with safety and fairness?
And this isn't just a California issue. As we've discussed, the United Nations is calling for global AI regulation, and experts are warning that piecemeal approaches could lead to a fragmented landscape where different regions have conflicting rules. Without a unified framework, both businesses and individuals will struggle to navigate the new AI-powered world.
So, what are the key takeaways from today? First, California is setting the stage for how AI regulation will unfold, but the debate is far from over. The recent veto of the AI safety bill shows that even in a state known for its progressive tech policies, there's hesitation to overregulate.
Second, AI's impact on industries is undeniable. And while laws are starting to catch up, there's still a long way to go. Whether it's in entertainment, social media, or law enforcement, the ethical implications of AI must be carefully managed to avoid unintended harm.
And finally, the global perspective is essential. AI isn't bound by borders, and as we've seen with the UN's call for international guidelines, the future of AI governance will depend on how well countries and companies collaborate to create rules that protect people without slowing progress.
That's it for today's episode of AI Frontier AI. We hope this gave you a clearer picture of the challenges and opportunities ahead as AI continues to shape our world. If you have thoughts or questions, don't forget to reach out to us on social media. We'd love to hear from you.
And don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the future of AI. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed. The views expressed in this episode are those of the hosts and guests and do not reflect the views of AI Frontier AI or its affiliates. The content is for informational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. Always consult experts before making decisions based on this podcast. This episode referenced information from Google News and investing.com. The music used in this episode, Night Runner by Audionautics, is licensed under the YouTube Audio Library license. Copyright 2024 AI Frontier AI. All rights reserved.